right? Like NA's increasing their consistency down the line, but they just can't finish it off. So.
I think I saw on there's the Liquipedia ELO rating for Rocket League teams, and Vitality have been at the top for quite a while, obviously after beating the big three from NA consecutively at Worlds. But now that they've been losing a little bit, I think Cloud9 are 1 point away from passing them.
One win.
So if Cloud9 can get a positive win rate or win record today, I think they're going to be the top ELO team. But Frontline are in third. They're a little bit off. So if they win it, maybe they can take the top ELO
What are
spot.
the metrics?
It's just, if you're a higher, I think Vitality are actually 3,000
that's
rating.
the number one team.
So
if
you're 3,000 rating and you lose to a 2,500 rating team, you're going to lose a lot of points. And if just like in Rocket League ranked, if you're a lower rated team beating a high rated team, you're going to gain a lot of points.
So they just kind of made their own like 6-man spot for the
actual
just
team.
An
ELO system.
Okay.
But it looks like we're jumping this match. And Pharaoh there with the lean. We talked about it yesterday. I think his controller is on the floor because it's so heavy.
Does he use his feet?
That thing is so heavy.
That's awesome. All right, G2 Frontline. Best of 7. The final day. These guys both have an extra life. So the loser of this will go down to the lower bracket and still have a chance to win the whole tournament.
I think something to look out for early, especially when we've seen G2 in the past couple days, is just finding possession and keeping the ball, because a lot of times G2 has just been giving it away, and it's been causing them a lot of trouble on defense.
Yep. I think this map as well for G2 may cause nightmares. Urban Central Night, the map that Vitality did win the World Championship on. So maybe that's a factor with mentality these days.
Frontline's already had some chances. We almost saw an own goal from G2 at the beginning there, too.
Yeah, they're just feeling each other out at the moment.
That was a good back pass to get this play started.
As Fruity just headbutts the wall.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
We've also seen struggles from G2 in overcommitting as well, or double committing, excuse me, especially on defense. It seems like low boost situations, miscommunication comes out, and they just seem to jump at everything.
And who do you think is more important to get this game 1 win? In this series,
the two
teams, yeah.
Probably G2.
Yeah, I would say G2.
G2?
We know Frontline can come back from deficits, right?
Yeah, I'm never really worried about Frontline, especially in a best of 7. It feels like they can reset their mentality, or they don't get shake too much.
Yeah. Robitussin.
Sorry.
Well, that's great passing. We saw some really good passing from G2 yesterday. This is also so good to see the awareness of Chicago, the back pass to JNAPS.
Now, we mentioned time of day. It is early in the morning for these teams. As an OCE player, our league plays at 10 a.m. every Sunday. But for these guys, it's 5 p.m., stuff like that. So
I mean,
these aren't gamer hours, Leaf. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah.
They're not gamer hours.
The sun's still up.
Exactly. We are nocturnal.
Oh.
We're a nocturnal species.
Yeah.
I didn't actually see what happened there. I'm not sure why that didn't go in, but that should be a goal.
Yeah,
I was going to put it in.
Let the power off of the car.
Okay, well done by JNAPS. It looks like Chaussette just couldn't get back fast enough. Maybe not paying attention to the ball. He could have been switching off ball cam there, looking for boost in the corner.
The nice shots coming out. I love it.
That's JNAPS nice shotting himself, just to
a little pat on the back.
Get inside their head.
Do you think Chicago stole that?
I think he may have done. He may think. I don't think it was a steal.
No, it was going post.
It was a secure anyway.
Yeah, very
close.
Much
it was a nice
secure.
little tap. Just tap it in. Just tap it in.
Chaussette yet to fire up. It'll happen though. I'm waiting.
G2 are looking very ready for this series, though they're spreading out really well. So Frontline aren't getting too many big clears.
They had to. That was their issue the other day when they were first playing, is that they were too close together. They were double committing. They made that realization soon after that they had to spread out, but they made sure to keep that early on.
It's something that I worry about anytime G2's on the field. If they come out flat in game 1, it's just going to be a disaster of a series. But through the first couple of minutes, G2 looks good.
I think G2's playstyle as well, it's smart ball chasing. I know just scrimming them before DreamHack Valencia, they just don't even care what you're doing with the ball as long as they know they got someone behind them. They're just going straight at it.
No hesitation.
No, not at all.
Really puts
And
a
they
lot
are
of
a
pressure
fast
on their
team too.
opponents.
JNAPS particularly as well has been impressing me.
What in particular? But
Just
his
his
play.
speed and just confident.
Oh,
Just
yeah,
a lot of confidence.
we've seen a few goals where the second, like there's like a small window, JNAPS is rushing straight towards it and getting goals off of it too.
Yeah, you usually sort of think Chicago for that sort of stuff, but yeah, playing him and in scrim stuff like that, yeah, I'm really impressed with JNAPS.
He'd started to look like he was falling off a little bit for quite a long time.
Yeah.
But then he kind of came back and showed that he's not done with his domination. There was a good while where he was like the player
Yeah.
on G2.
Great.
But he was just so quick in the air.
Yeah, the shots that he was pulling off as
Yeah.
well.
That's a constant struggle though for any player that gets ahead. You know, everyone else sees that, learns what you're doing, and does it themselves too. So you have to find a way to reinvent yourself.
G2 looking great defensively. The 2 goals that they've scored, I would say the second one shouldn't really be happening. That was kind of a misplay by Frontline. But the first one was just brilliant passing.
You see
By
2
G2.
dribbles from Chaussette as well, instantly challenged by G2. That's what you need to do against Chaussette.
Good
You
pass.
can't give
Wow.
him space.
Oh, Chaussette though.
The pre-jump.
Yeah, he
again
saw
is-
that coming.
Always in the right place for these goal line saves.
Which is hard because I doubt he was able to even see that other attacker. He just had to believe that that person was there because they were so far over.
Of course, the
Oh.
Chaussette's dribbles, everybody's been talking about that in the community, but most of it I hear, or most of the frustrations from his opponents
Defensively.
are about his defense.
Yeah.
They'll take a shot that they think, oh, well, that is definitely a goal, or if it's not a goal, it's going to be a really tough save, and then Chaussette just takes care of it without any issues.
Yeah, I think Chaussette's always had that defensive side. We've just seen a lot more crazy solo plays in the past month or two.
Yeah, he came onto the scene actually the same as Scrub Killer. Chaussette and Scrub were both Dominus players when they first popped up in 2015, and they were just the most ridiculous defenders you've ever seen. Like revolutionizing it really, 'cause nobody wanted to sit in goal back then except Gibbs.
Well, Chaussette was a big ones guy.
Yeah, they
Right.
both Scrub, Chaussette, both Dominus ones players, just sitting in goal, defending a shot, and then scoring into the open net at the other side.
Gibbs was so good, wasn't he?
Yeah, he used to be able to take on anybody.
You know what's funny is at one point, I think it was once they they were starting to get caught up by other teams, and then they let Gibbs move on to offense, and they started winning again.
I just love watching Gibbs' perspective. He'd upload his videos onto YouTube and
Yeah,
stuff because
yeah.
he saw the whole field for the
Yeah.
whole game.
The whole
Ball cam on.
He had the perfect angle of like
In the
Sad
goal.
Junior and Kenobi just like going nuts up
Flying
front.
around,
I
It was so
remember
fun.
the RLC Pro League, the first ever really big tournament with, I think, was it $10,000 prize money or something like that? But all the best teams were
Oh,
playing.
like the Rocket Royale?
Yeah, that one. Is
Yeah,
that what it was
yeah,
called? The
yeah.
Rocket Royale playoffs. And IBP, Gibbs, Grenovi Sad Junior made the semifinals. They lost, I think, in game 7 to, was it Swarm? No, it was Crown and Jewels back then. And there was a game where Gibbs scored 5 goals.
That's what I said.
He just scored 5 goals against Pashi and, was it Siki Killer number 7 or something like that.
I'm surprised he doesn't bring that one up more.
Yeah, he just scored 5 goals
He's old.
in one game.
He's old. He probably forgot.
Yeah.
But imagine being like Kronovi and Sad Junior, you know, you're upfield and you turn around and you see this big man with a hard hat.
Got a hard hat on.
The hard hat. He's like,
Coming
"Don't worry,
in."
boys, I've got it.
Don't worry, boys.
He's ready to put in some work.
What a man.
What happened to the hats? We used to have, Gibbs with a hard hat, Jacob with a foam hat.
Yeah.
Like, that was really what they were known for. And everybody now, just sweaty tryhards, no hats.
Put some hats on, guys.
We're up to G with the pirate hat.
One of my old teammates, Kia, back on Pale Horse in season 4, he had the just the baseball cap that you could reverse.
Oh,
And
yeah, yeah.
Nice shot.
His
Yeah.
placebo, if he was playing bad with the front cap, he'd flip it to the
Flip it
back.
backwards. Yeah, I wonder. There's got to be a couple of hats that are still viable. They're not going to interfere with your dribbling too much.
Yeah. I think everyone should just wear the udders.
I think we see the sunglasses a lot.
Oh, that's true.
Oh,
Halo.
true.
They were
yeah.
very
Yeah.
popular.
Halo was a pretty popular one, too.
I still think one of the most crazy things in Rocket League was when Kronovi used the Paladin with
For the
with
crown.
the crown, and then everybody was using the Paladin with the
I
crown.
use the Paladin.
I'm not going to lie. I switched my car choice based on what
Well,
Kronovi was playing.
I know
But that
everyone
was when
did.
cars actually made more of a difference than they do now.
Yeah.
And Paladin was one of the worst cars, but he didn't know that, and he just liked the way it looked.
Yeah.
Yeah, I switched the Breakout because I saw Dig Dog back in the day. Dig Dog 22,
Dig Dog,
now working
yeah.
at Sonics. Yeah, I thought he was a freak.
Ooh. Oh, wow.
Oh, bar down. There's
What
the
a follow-up.
G2 is just all
And there it is.
over.
Look at that speed. JNAP sees 1 second. He can move in. He just flies in so fast.
Oh, that's such a good
That
shot.
placement was
I
on
think
point.
Farah got clipped too a little bit. Couldn't jump for that one, got spun out.
The G2 are looking exactly like they did at the World Championship. Just not giving Frontline a half a chance. I'm expecting Frontline to come back at some point, but for now, G2 still the dominating team this tournament. Them and Cloud9 undefeated so far in the threes.
Speaking of shot placement as well, it's something that I've seen adapt over the season. So early on in Rocket League, if you had the open side of the net, you shoot towards it. And then we had the time where people were getting fast, so you shoot behind the player that's coming across.
Yeah.
And now we're just going for bar down every time because
It's the hardest.
You can't shoot anywhere else,
Yeah.
you know.
Anything else is getting saved,
gotta go
especially
bar
with
down.
Chaussette on the other team.
It's bar down or top corner.
Yeah.
I noticed C9 really loves the corners. Gimmick and Torment.
You just hit it as hard as possible.
Yeah, Frontline are really struggling to get this ball clear. G2 are sitting at midfield and they're contesting
Snaps.
everything early. Look at this. We've got Rizzo moving in and he has backup, so it's really difficult to get the ball past both of them.
Unless you're Farah,
Unless you're Farah.
the Airbus.
That's the advantage of having an Airbus on the ground is it's so heavy. 50-50-50. Then you're getting so much more force through the ball than your opponent.
He's like that big, heavy boss that just walks around really slow.
Yeah.
So tanky.
yeah.
I gotta say that Fennec looks really nice.
Oh, it does.
With the
yeah.
gold, yeah.
The Fennec is a car that does look very clean when you just give it one color. Just the smooth look. That's what Chicago's gone for as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
No decal.
Pearlescent.
It's got those alpha wheels.
So G2 do have to be careful here. As Frontline have shown in the past, it just takes one goal and then suddenly they can really come to life. It's a big chance. Farah actually shanked it to the left a
You
bit
expect
too
him to
much.
bang that, don't you?
Yeah.
Such a good shooter.
Well, especially in this game, too, where G2 feels like they're controlling the game, but they're only up by one. I mean, it just takes one break for Frontline.
Yeah.
Just a reminder for everybody tuning in right now, this is not going to be a single elimination bracket today in the playoffs. This is double elimination upper bracket. So we'll be seeing more from these teams later on, regardless of the outcome.
Yeah.
But if you win this series, you're straight into winners finals. Top 3, guaranteed.
Here we go.
Oh no.
Get out of the way, he
Not
says.
quite on the same page
Chelsea
there.
goes, I'm a freak. Just give me space.
There's a chance actually. Oh, if Farah had got that pass, there was only going to be one back. Or G2. That's the play you've got to be careful for as G2. You can't push up too far.
Chaussette has such a strong presence on the field. I wonder in comms if he's like that, you know, just give me the ball. Just let me go. I'm solo playing. Let me do it.
So 2-0. G2.
Yeah.
Strong start. Even though it's a 1-0 win, they controlled most of that game.
Yeah, there was a long time
yeah,
where
I
they
didn't.
couldn't get out.
Excuse
of
me.
their hat. They couldn't.
You
You okay there, Lee? You're all right.
You
still got your
infected me,
seatbelt on,
Corelli.
right? Okay.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah,
like
you
the
good?
plague going on the
Yeah.
couch.
Yeah, I was dying the first game.
It's the early morning coughs.
Yeah.
It is, yeah. Gotta get your water.
What were
Stay
you gonna
hydrated.
say something, Leaf? Or?
I think so. Oh yeah. No, I was just kind of agreeing. Is that you're like, yeah, it didn't ever feel like they were gonna lose that 1-0 lead at any point. I never felt like it
Right.
was at risk.
Yeah.
Right. Like they were still.
Near the end, Frontline kind of turned it back around, but still.
They didn't have any like convincing shots. I mean, like even Fruity had a chance at a shot, right? And it just kind of like flopped.
Yeah. 6 shots to 6.
Yeah, we haven't really seen anything from Frontline yet, which is probably why we're talking about Chaussette's car colours.
Yeah.
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 The thing that they have to do at the end of the game, they were doing it a little bit, but I think it was actually more to do with G2, like looking for a second goal a little bit too much, in my opinion, is get the ball out their half. Frontline have got to find a way to get the ball out of their half.
Send Fruity downfield.
Yeah, every time that they, just go for a sort of medium power hit, it's not going past G2, And it's also not baiting G2 in very far. G2 are just sitting at halfway, and that's where they're contesting
Yeah,
the
they're
ball.
controlling mid, yeah.
They don't have to come all the way in to Frontline, because Frontline are kind of afraid of letting them come in. They're really afraid of just getting completely stuck in their goal. But maybe I think baiting them in might be a good idea.
Leaf, do you still have your seatbelt on?
Yeah,
Well,
I checked.
yeah.
I checked.
I gotta stay
Is
safe.
it a comfort thing?
This is it's a wild series. I
Is
gotta
the
buckle
couch
up.
just got to grow wings and fly away? Or something?
I'm just maybe I just don't trust my own balance. Might fall off the couch.
The G2 are hitting.
That'd actually be quite the feat.
That would be impressive.
I was gonna say G2 are hitting bangers right now. Every shot is an absolute rifle. The top shelf of the goal. A couple of crossbars. It's going to be impossible to save those if they do get it underneath the bar like JNaps did in game 2.
Yeah.
Let's see. I like this. This is kind of what Frontline need to do. They've got one player at the game there just because of a 50-50, and now they can start to advance. Not just giving it away immediately. Fruity again, looking for a 50-50, and this is how they're starting to get the ball forward.
Oh.
So close. That
Good
could be the
Farah.
game plan. Maybe Yomi told them in between games, just 50-50s, boys.
Yeah.
That's what we need. Draw them in. Uh-oh.
It's good patience from JNaps.
I thought Farah was about to burst the ball going for a garbage there.
Pitch it through the map.
Imagine if that could happen. Oh, the burst or the ball takes damage.
Fair is the first one to do it.
It respawns. That would help those long overtimes.
Disable goal reset.
Yeah,
I
just
really
reset
want
it
to
in the
see a
middle.
high prize money tournament with
tournament,
disable
yeah,
goal
yeah,
reset
yeah.
on. That's my favorite mutator.
The strats that would happen.
It's the only
Yeah.
time you score, Johnny.
Yeah.
the other team scores and you're still in the middle.
Oh, it's brilliant though. So many goals. I think speaking of goals, Frontline better be scoring the next one.
Yeah.
G2 have got a 2-0 lead already. And although we're pretty confident Frontline can come back, I personally wouldn't expect them to come back from 3 games down. G2 have looked so good this weekend, and today especially.
Yeah, today it's scary because today's the best they've looked even through 2 games.
Yep. And that's all that matters.
Yeah.
You know, if one of those other teams like C9 or NRG has today as their off day,
Right.
G2's looking strong to go to finals.
That's really what's
Take
all
it.
that's happened in the past few Rocket League tournaments. It's whoever
Have a
plays
good
best
day.
in the last day
Yeah.
is going to take it. Still all tied up. Frontline have done pretty well in the last, 5 minutes or so of gameplay across this series.
They've slowed down G2 a lot.
Yeah.
Like G2 isn't just ripping shots left and right anymore.
I think G2 are more tentative to dive in for those challenges now because they've realized Frontline they're not falling for the strategy that they were running in game 1 and 2 as much.
They're bringing the ball down and taking those 50s now.
Exactly. So now that's well done to G2 to adapt though, because they could have very easily just thrown themselves in. They're like, we got a 2-game lead. Let's just keep on throwing everything forward.
I mean, like, yeah, you say Frontline stopped a lot of the shots on net from G2, but I feel like they haven't been able to generate much of their own. Like G2's backed off instantly.
Yeah. It slows down everything for G2. Not much attack anymore, and Frontline can kind of have a little bit more presence in their own defensive third.
The G2 shooting has looked better out of the 2 teams.
Yes.
This is key.
Yeah.
Like when there have been shots, G2 have been hitting it with confidence. As Frontline, not so much. Oh, cheeky by Fruity.
Very cheeky.
Final minute. This is where Frontline have to apply themselves, really focus. There's actually no back post rotation right now for G2. If the ball does get across, Rizzo does really well.
Farah.
So tense here. G2 trying to take complete control of this series. Frontline trying to start a comeback.
They don't want to go into overtime. They'll try to end it before that.
Both teams looking so composed. There's like very few, high defensive lines.
yeah,
Look how
yeah.
deep
It's
they're
getting-
both sitting.
It's getting safer and safer from both teams.
It's even like team bumps coming in because everybody's so far
Yeah, well,
back.
Janaps was in a weird spot. He had no boost for the longest time there.
Yeah, he didn't want to just challenge for no reason.
Man.
Oh, is that double touch potential? Not quite. Rizzo
Now it's dropped.
gonna let it drop. The smart play by Chaussette in that
Yeah.
position.
Definitely.
Yeah, there's not much you can do there.
Especially with the shots that G2 have been hitting.
Well, yeah, and you saw someone still at midline. Even if he rolled it up the wall and tried to bring it out off the wall, it could have been stopped.
Still, that's a really good try by Chicago.
And we saw Astral yesterday scoring a goal against G2 in the crew battles by pitching it off the corner. So maybe
That was insane.
maybe we need Chaussette to just
I don't think
conjure up something.
Yeah, you think you just go and do it?
Yeah. First time.
I'm gonna go ahead and say we're not gonna see another one of those in this tournament.
I've never seen that before.
J-Naps was
Never,
not
man.
happy with it either. He tweeted saying it's the stupidest goal he's ever seen in his life. Astral said it was on purpose.
Of course he did.
Of course he would.
Yeah.
You got to claim it, don't you?
Yeah.
Still such a tense game. After all the really long overtimes yesterday, I wouldn't be surprised to see this one continuing for a while.
Yeah, usually if it's gonna end early, it's gonna end under the first minute, right?
Do you think you can pull a Linus, CJ? Guess the exact time? Never mind.
104.
104.
We said it.
I think you sort of did it there,
I
but
think you got it in before.
you were thinking
Oh, no,
about it.
nobody's going to do a Linus. But that is one game for Frontline. Look at the relief. Because they know
No, that's huge.
Shots that
That's huge.
sigh over there.
that makes this series a lot more winnable for them.
Yeah.
The percentage just increased
Oh,
dramatically.
yeah.
You can tell Yummy Cheese, man, he's passionate as well. He's emotionally invested,
Oh,
perhaps
man.
more so than the players.
Yeah.
I don't know. Farrah looks like he's a little confused though. Like he's just like he kind of shook his head and he's like, what else can we do? Like the only goal came off a mistake there from that touch. That touch went straight down off. I think it was J-Naps.
But you kind of saw the shift from G2 when Frontline showed that they were going to keep more possession. G2 backed off, and then that last half of that game into overtime, it felt like Frontline was having more of the pressure, more time in the G2 side.
It was just J-Naps getting a little bit close third man there.
Yeah.
And the poor clear off the backboard. He tried to hit that so it'll bounce a little bit more
Straight,
out.
yeah.
But it's gone down.
He
and
hit it
Chaussette-
way up. He got it way too clean.
Yeah.
That is interesting because although Frontline didn't probably win this game the way they expected, they're thinking G2 they're just going to keep on being hyper aggressive on the midfield line. So let's try and bait them in a little bit further, and then we can get the ball past them and score on the counter attack. That didn't happen because G2 were like, okay, we'll sit back in that case. You guys are trying to bait us in. We're going to do the opposite, and then Frontline win the war of attrition anyway.
Well, yeah, I think they sort of did get baited in a little bit as J-Naps, he crept up a little bit. They sucked them in, and then Chaussette just went bang. They hit the backboard really quick, and J-Naps couldn't really catch it the way he wanted to. So perhaps you were right, Johnny, baiting them in.
Well, we'll see if that continues to be a thing that Frontline are going for, and will G2 respond the same way?
That's
Looks like they indeed will. It's a really fast commitment to G2. Very spread thin. There's two players really far forward. The last man back can't make a touch.
It's hard to tell. I mean, I don't think it's going to be indicative of the rest of the game. I mean, 12-second goal that.
Well, this
can
is the
reset
game
pretty
for
quick.
G2 to, try something different because they still have that one
Well, they had the upper
game
hand.
lead.
Yeah.
So if they want to see if their strategy that they were pulling in game 1 and 2 is going to still work against the adaptation that Frontline have brought, this is the game to do it.
Oh,
So close.
just missed. That was a good attempt, though.
Really deep boost steal for Farah. But he knows both of his teammates have got boost in the back. Oh, it didn't work out for them, though.
There's the drop down where it just hits the
Yeah.
top of the crossbar there, and you're committing thinking maybe it's going to go bar down, but it just comes out.
So
That's
nobody
hard,
was
though.
fast there.
There was still two defenders in net. Like, that could have been stopped.
Ideally, you have to get somebody up to challenge that first shot, though. And that was probably what Farah was expecting when he went for the boost steal. Even though the ball's in his own team's half, he's thinking, well, they're both back with boost. One of them will challenge, one of them will defend the goal. But nobody challenged, so they got really in trouble anyway.
That's what's really hard as well in terms of communication. On the goal line, what do you do? There's a great save there from Chaussette. Yeah, on the goal line, it's so hard to communicate with your teammate because you're so concentrating on, watching the shot. You sort of forget to talk.
Yeah. The attacker always has the advantage in that position when the ball's rebounding hard off the bar.
Ooh.
So close for Rizzo. That time going for the placement behind the goalkeeper.
So many of their shots have been going that bottom left-hand corner and just hitting post.
They're making Frontline stretch for these saves.
Frontline, they need to just get behind the ball here or get a big clear, and that's not it. This is what's causing them problems earlier on in the series, that they don't get the ball past midfield, and it's straight back in before they can find time to grab boost.
Wonder if Rizzo as well, if he's relieved that he can com normally. We saw yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
He played with Cooks and K-Dop, and he said he had to simplify his comms from even an I got to an I go.
With an
and
accent.
then added an accent as well. Because he still wasn't sure if his teammates could understand it.
Maybe he was enjoying it. Maybe that's what G2 are doing right now. They're just coming in French or Franglish.
I mean, it seems to be... what a dunk.
Well, that has to be somewhat of a misplay. Well, let's take another look from Rizzo's POV. Chaussette usually so good at getting a save and clearing the ball. Kind of falling into the trap of just focusing only on the save.
Yeah.
G2 still looking dominant. They lost one overtime. Apart from that, they've had so many more chances, so many more realistic chances to score the goals that they need.
Oh, they've just been toying with Frontline. I mean, Frontline's just been diving back and forth across their goal line for most of the game.
Nice defensive touch by G2. Now Rizzo's alone.
He's
going for a bump. Oh!
The air roll. Oh, my God.
He was just spiraling in there.
That was interesting. He looked like he was in a tumble dryer trying to air roll there. He's just flopping all over the place.
It was like, you know, in Rumble where somebody drives past you with the tornado and your car just
That was Farah.
Oh, Farah's going to be raging. Because he keeps on seeing clips of his own plays pop up on Reddit, and it's always accompanied by laughter. And he's like, why is everybody just laughing at me?
He hits a sick double touch. And we're going, the air bus, the air bus. Oh.
So we're hopefully going to get him on later and he can defend himself.
Yeah.
He was super passionate defending himself yesterday.
I think someone said they want a compilation of every time we've mentioned Farah. It's been good fun.
Yeah,
even there, you just say his name and we start laughing.
Oh, Farah's just such a top lad. Such a nice guy.
He takes it in his stride, obviously. If he didn't like it, we wouldn't
we would have
continued doing it. But it's
that's what happens when you win a LAN. Everybody's just going to start digging at you and start, you know, seeing if you can handle some
heat.
Some fun. Fair definitely can. Oh wow. It's wide open too.
Yeah.
Fruity with the best play we've seen yet from Frontline.
Absolutely.
That's so sick.
That was dirty.
There's no other way that he's getting the ball over.
No.
And he's hit the crossbar.
Well, they get it that direction too. Yeah, otherwise it was going off the net to the side.
JNAP's had the save, expecting this could be on target.
Yeah.
Just hits crossbar, open net.
So we're expecting Chaussette to be the one to all of a sudden come out of nowhere, but it's Fruity.
Nearly off the backboard.
We've seen Fruity have that pop-off potential too before.
He's been a little quiet this series, to be honest.
Making like fast aerial interceptions whenever he's needed to. That is what we've come to expect from him. His mechanics are huge as well. Chaussette and Fruity, definitely two of the fastest players
as well.
He is also bigger than your fridge freezer.
I saw Yummy Cheese Man coming up the stairs earlier. He had a mouse pad for Fruity, and it was massive. I said, why do you need a massive mouse pad?
It's just like one of those exercise mats.
Yeah.
And he said Fruity's hand is so big that his mouse is like triple XL as well.
That was such a hard read for the defense. They had 3 defenders there. None of them could read it. That backboard pass was so fast.
The backboard has been pretty vulnerable actually for both teams so far this series. I think we heard Garrett saying that yesterday when they play Vitality, they try and hit the backboard more. So you can notice, okay, where are the other team defending? Are they defending the net or the backboard? Well, earlier on, G2 shots were so good that that's probably forced Frontline into the net more than they would have liked, just to preempt those bar down boomers.
We talk about Fairy Peak's adaptation in 1v1s. I think G2 in 3v3s have the most versatility. Maybe that's Jarzo in the coaching now, but they just change 1 or 2 things each game, you know, if something's not working. They don't just keep, you know, repeating the same thing over and over again.
Yeah, having the coach behind them is really nice. In between, just get that third-person perspective. Hey, you know, great game, but I did see this and this that could be exploited later, so watch out.
Yeah, he said that it's sometimes just something very small, like, okay, we got to try and, steal their boost more because we're lots of times so panicked to get back into defense that we're not taking that extra time to hinder the opponents. There's something very, very minor.
Could be very small that it could be a problem later that the other team's coach might have noticed and said, hey, let's exploit.
Say, Rizzo, dude, what are these comms, man? Like, nobody understands what you're saying.
I reckon Jazzy just stared at Rizzo and said, get on the hunt.
Oh, yes.
Get on the hunt.
Put Rizzo on the hunt.
Is that in the game yet?
He's not really been on the hunt too much from what I've seen this series, but I would love to see full on the hunt Rizzo in game 4.
If you didn't tune in yesterday, basically on the hunt we decided with Rizzo on the couch and Jazzo that we need a
new mechanic.
A new mechanic where if you are chasing an opponent, you pick up speed.
Slipstream.
You're in their slipstream.
Slipstream.
You pick up speed, so you're on the hunt, and there's also, like a...
We need a big graphic, the sides of the screen go red. No blood, though, because it's PG 3 or whatever. Just, a big flashing, danger signs.
Yeah.
And, you can catch up to people and demo them from behind.
No, it'd be great. You're in ball cam and it's like a missile lock on.
Yeah.
Kind of so someone's
press
on your
button
tail.
to go on the hunt,
and then
you put your controller down.
And then for the opponent, the Jaws theme tune starts playing.
Yeah.
They
I like that.
have the fear.
So if you're locked on for long enough behind an opponent, you just push one button and then it just
around.
Put your controller down and it'll just kill them.
Heat-seeking missile style. Rizzo, sometimes he just seems like he is already on the hunt before it's even been added to the game.
Yep.
He's just tracing down everybody in the lobby. If you're against someone who's doing that, how tilting would that be? You just realize they've committed one person to just demo us. He's not even going for the ball.
Yep.
He's just driving around.
Scoring.
That's what we said. A lot of times demos are pretty useless. Sometimes, you'll demo someone in the forward half and they're on defense again, but it's more a mental thing. If you're getting demoed all the time, even if it doesn't make sense, you're like,
Chicago!
He's done that before in league play as well, and now it's an open net.
That is a disaster.
No.
I don't know. Was it going to go in?
Chicago did this in league play on Wasteland. I can't remember who it was against, but he came off the roof of their net and saved Janab's shot. He's done it again here.
It was a great save, though.
He's been
watching
watching
a great save.
too many of Jesse's streams.
It was like a bump pre-jump save.
He wanted to get a bump on a goalkeeper. He ends up hitting the ball.
Have you seen that Jesse compilation?
Man.
Moments? That is my favourite video I've ever seen.
That is the best Rocket League video. It's so good.
He just tried to do back passes.
Oh, wow.
Look
at what has happened. G2 have just left someone alone at the back twice in a row now. Look how alone per JNaps is. 3v1. Farah just sends him
and the person with the ball shoves it on the ground.
Farah just landing on him there.
Great start for Frontline.
Yeah, G2 might be
they
having
need
a little giggle
point,
here.
Right?
Yeah.
This is the first real time that G2 have slipped up. They've looked like they're really on point today. All tournament really, and now all of a sudden, the couple of misplays start to come in.
They have time to get their head back in the game, even in this game alone. But the whole series, they're up. 3-on-1 in the series.
Farah just putting the ball out for a throw in there.
I feel like it's so nice having Farah as a teammate because he's going to smash the ball whenever he gets it. It's a boomer.
Oh yeah. Oh dear. G2 are really getting each other's way a little bit.
I mean, I don't think that was going to be a good shot on net anyways.
Yeah, I would agree. It's showing us that they're maybe not reading each other quite as well as they were earlier. Chaotic rotations, very, very early commitments. Oh my goodness.
Okay.
Making up for that save before.
That is just a beautiful goal.
You're not stopping this. There's no way.
Even the extra touch before the rebound.
Wow.
Yeah,
to get it past the final defender.
He really baited him off that backboard, didn't he? Because if he just hit it straight away to the backboard, it's an easy clear. But he made him jump and then said, nah, I've got more.
So Chicago absolutely redeeming himself for his earlier save on his teammate's shot.
They've still got half the game left to go, and they're only down by 1 now.
Oh yeah, with a goal like that, you could definitely see G2 piling on the pressure.
Again, the winner of this match moves on to the winners' final against either Cloud9 or NRG.
NA still for now, dominating.
Will this be an all-NA final?
Would that be the first ever?
The first
first ever in major Rocket League competition. Fruity is demoing the entire team. He is on the hunt.
Free ball.
And he's on the hunt for another goal too. Look at that from Fruity. He just clears the defense out and then comes back around for the finish.
Like a shark.
Yeah, one came off spawn and the other one was coming back on rotation. Couldn't get there.
Well responded by Frontline. We thought it was going to be Rizzo getting those demos, but Fruity deciding it's his turn.
Oh man.
Oh wow. I like that little 50-50 strategy by Chaussette, just single jumping into the ball so you have the wave dash to recover.
Yep.
It sometimes gives you a huge speed boost.
Doesn't take
depending on how you
It gives you control too, because if you need to get out and go somewhere else after the 50.
Yeah, if you get like bumped in an awkward position, maybe just half flip away. I've seen people do that on kickoffs recently as well.
Just single jump and then half
Yeah,
flip
single
back.
jump and then you have the wave dash if the kickoff goes well, half flip if it goes badly. Was it G2? Yeah, Jazza said that G2 have got one kickoff strat that they haven't done yet in competition.
Only Chicago
came up with it, and he's the only one who can do it.
Only in a certain kickoff as well. It might be diagonal.
Obviously, in a series like this where they're winning, wouldn't expect to see that. They're saving it for later in the competition.
It's not something you want to just throw out there.
It might still be risky as well.
Yeah.
It's not as honed in.
I wonder what it could be. Could be a fast kickoff, a slow kickoff, a fake kickoff.
Well, it sounds like it's something we haven't seen before. So
it sounded like that.
Yeah.
I hope it's like the 360 spinneroonie.
Is that what you call it?
Yeah, I just want to be justified in my terrible kickoff.
I don't think that's it.
I really don't think that's it, Leaf.
I call that a low 5 kickoff. You do like a 180 and just backflip.
Yeah, no, I do full 360.
Oh, okay. That's just flair. That's style
that's
points.
just a montage.
A lot of it actually works way more than it should because the opponent's like, what is he doing?
Yeah.
Did he disconnect?
So, Leaf, you just score a cool goal and you're like, I'm the best player in the world. And then you do this 360 kickoff and then get scored on and put back in your place. Looks like Frontline. Yeah, going to take this one.
Yeah, G2 really their worst enemies, their own worst enemies at the start of this game.
Chicago.
It was even without the Chicago potential save on his own teammate shot. It was the positioning of their team as a whole that was getting them in trouble. Because after that happened, they had a wide open net behind them. Like, why is that a thing? And then immediately afterwards, JNaps is completely isolated. Like, not a teammate in sight, and he gets 1v. I think it was 1v3 territory. He got bumped.
Do you think they maybe lost focus because they're obviously in front of the series? They're 3-1 up, and you know Chicago does that. It's a bit of a laugh, you know, and then they think, oh, we'll get another goal, and then there's a positional misplay.
Let's just get in there.
Down, you think, oh no.
Yeah. Because if you have one player going forward for the ball and they don't recover fast, or it doesn't look like they're going to recover fast, kind of joining in and thinking, yeah, you know what? That corner looks like a lot of fun. I'm just going to get in there.
What are you guys up to over here?
That's a really bad bounce. Could be a 50-50 or a wall bounce, or you just get beaten to the ball. Suddenly, your per teammate in defense has no help. And in 2v2, 3v3 situations, you're just going to get ruined. It looked like it was Chaussette there, just getting a dribble on somebody who was alone at the back.
Yeah, it seemed like less of, Frontline did something. It's just G2 did nothing. Like they kind of they lost their vision on this one.
They were just way too aggressive.
Maybe it's the mind game. It was like trying to, just let Frontline think that, they're falling apart and they're going to come to the next one with a big swing.
Was much more physical this game too. I mean, obviously there was a couple demos coming out, but I feel like they were just in the face of G2 just physically, and that threw off their entire game plan.
Yeah, they didn't sit back once they got that lead. They kept on applying pressure, which is, I think, a really good way to play against G2. I mean, it worked for Vitality in the RLCS Grand Finals. They didn't get 1-0 leads and then just chill.
Right.
They're always looking to bring the game to G2, who are such a scary team once they get to set up.
Oh yeah,
pressure you.
It takes just a second or two to set up that insanely fast midfield passing play, and then you're scored on, right?
Fruity confidently looking for a rebound there, even though he can see Chicago in front of him. He's still thinking,
it's the Fruity bombs.
They could miss two of them.
Wow.
Whoa,
a demo, a bump.
Fruity, I'm telling you.
The guy who probably puts in more game hours with Jesse than anyone else in the world.
It's true.
And he's starting to see some fruits for his labor.
They're so effective nowadays. Like, because, you know, defense is so good, but the one thing that is always hard to stop is a bump, you know?
Yep.
So, demo someone, get them out of position, create those 2-on-1s, open nets.
I mean, even though it's been such a popular strategy for a while now, it's still a really difficult thing to react to. It's like you still get deer in the headlights, even at the highest level. You see somebody coming, you don't dodge, you don't jump.
And it's those mind games, like, do you jump? Is he got to jump as well?
Right.
Do I flip? Like, what do you do?
And it happens so quickly,
Well,
you
that's
can't
the
make up
thing.
your mind.
I like just driving up to people and then stopping like full speed and make them jump, and then you just sit under them so they can't drive away. You know?
Yeah, no, you're right though, John. It's like the game is already so quick. You're trying to react to so much that sometimes a bump or a demo is just out of nowhere, especially if they haven't been happening yet. It might not be at the front of your mind, and then all of a sudden you're on the moon. You know.
Yeah. And sometimes you forget that that's a thing in the game, like a mechanic.
Yeah.
No one's doing it. Oh yeah, they can do that.
Whoops.
Nice little challenge there by Rizzo. You notice what he did is just making sure not to dodge as he dives into the corner, so he can land on his wheels and get straight back out with full boost. Still pressuring the ball, still giving a chance for a block, but not overcommitting, which is what they did last game.
It's 2 demos.
At the same
wow.
time.
I didn't even.
The Frontline, they're really getting aggressive here.
I wonder if G2 is going to respond with some aggression of their own. We haven't really seen much of it yet.
It's pretty clear that that's been talked about for Frontline, though. I mean, they've been blowing up G2
Oh,
the last 2
100%.
games. It's completely different than the first 2 games.
You don't just suddenly start getting exterminators across the board, right? Like,
I would not be surprised if that was said mid-game.
Turtle rocks up now. He's
got the K-dot. He's got the K-dot pose.
Yeah. Watermelons under his arm.
Except he has no muscle.
Oh!
Yeah. Walk away, Turtle.
That hurt him. He's walked off.
This looks like this time Chicago will misread the ball. Fruity was hoping for that earlier in the series. It didn't happen. Now it does. And Frontline are on fire. This is
Fruity's on fire.
G2's worst nightmare. They've seen this before. The games against Frontline going all the way. Never an easy series against these guys.
Chicago was looking for the pass to JNaps, but JNaps wasn't able to turn in time, get in position.
Speaking of Fruity, I talked to Fruity yesterday. We were talking with him with a couple of other guys, and he has been at the top of a lot of other games. I don't know if you guys know at home, but Fruity used to be a League of Legends professional as well. He's played with a lot of top players at the Worlds last season. He's also used to play Counter-Strike with Glaive, who is on Astralis. So, who is this man? He just any game he picks up,
he's a gamer.
But that's why he's got to be a keyboard and mouse player, because in both those games, of course, KBM.
That actually makes a lot more sense why he's going to stay with keyboard and mouse.
I mean, obviously, I'm not anywhere near Fruity's level, but that's why I wanted to play KBM for Rocket League. It's just every other game I played on PC was KBM. I thought, why would I switch to controller? It just feels unnatural.
Yeah, I guess if you haven't had it, I'm thankful I grew up, like with Call of Duty and that, right? So it's the controller was fairly familiar.
Yeah, exactly.
I was the same way.
I wonder if there's any keyboard mouse players that found the game on computer that are playing on controller, or vice versa.
So let's see, now or never for G2. Will they get anything going here? They've been clearing the ball pretty effectively, but once they get it into the Frontline half, that final touch of genius, that pass that leads into a bar down shot, it's been missing. Frontline have been all over it.
Are we going to see a Game 7 in our first series of the day? What is this saying for the rest of day 3?
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
You got to strap in like Leaf, get your seatbelt on.
I haven't taken it off.
How did you know? Like, you knew this was going to be a big day.
Well, I did write the script.
Yeah, that's
He wanted to cast all the games. He saw the schedule. He's like, nah, I'm just going to put my belt on.
Yeah, you can't remove me.
Can't get anybody out of here.
For any skeptics at home thinking there might be a script, I asked a member of Sonics who was going to win, and they said, I'm not allowed to say. So I think that might actually be a script.
And Linus got to look at it. That's right.
Yeah.
That'll confirm Game 7
Wow.
between G2 and Frontline.
Little
It's another-
passing play between
Yeah.
Frontline and G2.
What do you say if you're Jazzo here?
Get him, boys. Probably something
I don't think
better
that
than
helps.
that. No,
I don't know what you say. I mean, we can see, geez, man, there. Looks like if he had anything to do with the demos coming in more often, then that must be feeling really good for him.
Might be up to Rizzo now to just get on the hunt,
Yeah.
Oh, we
get up
haven't
front.
seen Hunt
Oh, yeah,
Rizzo.
absolutely. We have not seen that at all from G2.
I think although, G2 strategize, the best G2 is that pressure, that offensive pressure, even though,
Yeah.
Frontline might want to bait them in, but it might be just who's got the, who's the
Yeah.
best at that game, Is G2 just the best at pressuring, or is Frontline going to be better at, baiting them in? So
Yeah, well, controlling that midfield that works so well in
Yeah.
the first couple of games comes from not allowing Frontline to even leave the that back half of their own field.
Because although changing your strategy might be good, it's also conceding, your own play style. So if perhaps they just both go at it this game, and the best.
I wouldn't
team
be
wins.
surprised if most of the G2 conversation is actually talking about what Frontline are doing,
Yeah.
because that's 2 games now that Fruity's
Yeah.
had a huge double bump play, and game 5 sealed the game. Game number 6, it just started the win for Frontline.
If I'm
they could be
Frontline,
talking about that.
I'm going into this game the same exact way, unless G2 makes major changes and they kind of have to sit back and say, okay, wait, this isn't working. But if I'm Frontline, I'm coming full steam ahead at this point.
And they're not really committing really hard for those
Yeah.
double bump plays. They're just
It's
swooping
pretty
right
safe.
through.
It's pretty safe.
Yeah,
We see this from Frontline a lot as well. Early on in the game, a big play comes out. We saw Chaussette yesterday, the air dribble bump on Squishy in one of the games,
yeah.
and that just set up a nice little 2-0 win. So if they get an early goal here, a big play, whether it's a bump, an air dribble, if Farah can get in the air somehow,
Oh man,
that would just
Farah
seal the game.
aerials.
If Farah can aerial, they've won.
like they haven't even had to use that yet.
No.
We haven't
Imagine
seen
having
Farah
that
in the
in
air.
your back pocket, in your locker.
Yeah.
Oh, this is scary. Chaussette taking it just so effortlessly under control. Frontline look like they are on for Game 7. Winner of this series progresses to winner finals. The loser will go down to the lower bracket.
Still got another life, but it's better to just stay in the upper bracket, if I do say so myself.
I'd say that's pretty smart, Lee.
Just win.
Just win for it.
Great
Oh,
pass.
there-
Oh,
he almost
wow.
had the save, too.
That is a cracking pass from Chaussette. He had to jump so far down for it, but he timed it to perfection.
I think Frontline, one of their best traits right now is when they get a lead, they are actually holding their lead. They're locking it down. So I reckon Frontline, they're looking pretty good.
Yeah, this is crazy. They're just impossible to shut out of a series, it would
Ooh,
seem.
that miss could be deadly, though.
But he's still there.
Yeah.
Well played. Good recovery, but it's still
He's
there
still
for
there,
G2.
yeah.
It's still there for G2.
No, there's
was
no
Janas.
follow-up, yeah.
All the way back.
Usually he's a key
Yeah.
on that, right?
Oh, game 1-2, they would have been, I'm sure, but now they're a bit scared to commit far forward. They've had that game 5 where they got
Ooh.
punished twice in a row for
How is
committing
that
too
gone
far.
that way?
I don't know.
Well, I mean,
Yes, it could be a shot here.
if they don't get a goal, they're going to have to just throw everything on that offense.
I love Fruity in defense right now as well. Just getting goal side of the ball. He knows there's probably a shot coming in. Great series for Fruity overall. Definitely got to be the MVP at the moment.
Fruity, absolutely.
Especially in the last couple games.
Yeah.
Really setting up his team for success.
And he had a lot to stand up for today after how well Chaussette and Farah played with Astral yesterday.
He's got to keep his spot.
Yeah, everybody's thinking, well, of course, PSG
Yeah, that's his motivation.
yeah, Frontline have looked great with Fruity, but they look pretty good with Astral as well. Well, that's a pre-jump from Farah. He's back down.
There we go. Maybe he heard us.
I mean, sometimes when you pre-jump so early, the opponent can't even hit the ball. You think, well, I mean, I suppose I shouldn't hit it at that guy.
Oh.
It's already up. Almost half the game gone. G2 still down by 1. They have lost the previous 2 games. Fruity is dominating right now.
Oh.
I think for G2 right now, it's just about capitalizing on the opportunities given to you.
Yeah.
Frontline have really locked it down. It feels like G2 have had small opportunities that either, like we talked about, JNAP's not coming up, or just couldn't. Some squandered away.
They need to worry about Chicago as well, saving their own goals.
Yeah.
Their own
Yeah.
That's right. When G2 were on match point, they just blundered immediately and then threw it away or put themselves in a much rougher position. Frontline, first match point and only one they're going to get this series, and they respond, or they straight away start to play well.
Fruity just being an absolute pest at the moment up front. Killing time as well in the corner. Very effective.
Had a lot of the same qualities that Gimmick brings to Cloud9 this game. Fruity just so fast, so annoying to deal with. G2 just can't handle him. Only a minute and change left.
Good look for
There's
each
a good
other,
pass. A little too heavy, Chicago didn't get there.
We might start seeing G2 just committing a little bit too hard as well, which could be costly. So, you know, when you're trying to get that goal, you sometimes forget about your positioning and structure and perhaps get a little bit desperate. So it'll be interesting to see in this last minute.
Well, it's a big chance.
There we go.
That was
another one off the bar.
Well, that was it for G2. Are they going to get a better look at the frontline goal?
They've got to commit everything to offense right now.
Oh, Chicago.
It's do or die, or they're in lower bracket.
This could be open.
Good save. They're still in it.
Yeah, they might get one more shot here.
Downfield.
There's actually a
Is that-
chance.
Bump,
Looking for the bump, maybe.
boost?
Oh, Rizzo! We all thought he's going for the
could've
bump,
said, yeah.
but
I'm like, there's
Low
no way
boost
he's
too.
getting up with no boost on that.
He collected a little pad.
oh, Chaussette must have been pretty starved because he just flipped away as well. So well played, Rizzo. Staying upfield,
The bump
he just
man.
ended up front, and he knows, well, we've got to make something happen
He
here.
was
Hopefully
locked
pass
onto
comes in.
Chaussette on the hunt and then pulled off
Yeah.
for the shot.
Oh!
Shazat was
No
having
way!
Shazat was having none of it.
It sort of looked
I
terrible,
think
but
he
it
just,
worked.
I think he just missed
Yeah.
the ball.
I
Chaussette
think he
just
just
missed
missed
it.
it.
He
Yeah.
did. And Rizzo's never expecting Chaussette to just miss the flick.
Wow. That stings for G2.
He definitely
I
didn't
mean,
mean
this
to
is
do
what
that.
months, you know, series after series of terrifying dribbling will do for you. No one thinks you're going to miss.
That hurts too.
Yeah.
How appropriate that it was Shazat on Rizzo too. Right?
Chance as well for Frontline to just put this one beyond all doubt. They spread themselves pretty thin to allow G2 to equalize, but now they have a great
that's a
setup.
huge
We'll have
goal.
one more chance right here. They're gonna have to keep it up.
There's a chance.
Oh,
no.
J-Naps.
Could
J-Naps
have
with
the
a full
double there because
miss.
Chaussette was down.
Yeah.
The front line.
Wow.
In
What a
7.
win.
Even Shazat's like, should we have had that win?
Chaussette's a little bit embarrassed, I
Ah.
think, about that goal.
Yeah, like he's like, no.
He knows he has the winning goal, but he also knows he did just miss the ball. He was trying to get, you know, a little clip on it
Yeah.
underneath, which adds like huge acceleration on the shot. But funnily enough, if he had done that, I think Rizzo would have saved it.
I mean, G2 looks so strong, but Frontline
You gotta
now
give 'em credit.
taking out G2 in 7.
Yeah.
Can they go back-to-back tournament wins now? I mean, that's something we haven't seen for so long in Rocket League, have we?
We've had 6 unique winners in the past 6 major LAN events.
I think you should give a lot of credit to Frontline. We talked about it before, how we're not really worried about them if they do go down in the series.
What a series by Fruity. Wow, that I don't think I've seen him play that well this late in the tournament for quite a while. Obviously, he's been very consistent.
He's super
Very
consistent,
fast.
and we've seen him have pop-off potential. It doesn't happen as
He
often
just
as
took the
Shazat, but
series under control. He just said,
Yeah.
this is how we're going to win this, and he just did it all
Well,
himself.
On and off the ball, too. I mean, he gets a demo, then bumps the last defender out of the way, then he's scoring shots.
Solo
he's on
goals.
defense. Yeah.
You have to feel for G2 as well, that last goal from Chaussette. That you expect Chaussette in a solo play to hit that flick.
Yeah.
And to miss the
Yeah.
flick, and obviously, I don't know who was in net, but just getting faked there, and it wasn't really an intentional fake
Yeah.
either. He just
yeah, you could tell. Well, and then it was confirmed afterwards with Shazat's head shake. He's like,
Yeah.
I
Whoops.
can't believe that worked.
There was a nice goal by Rizzo. It was such a shame for him that immediately afterwards he did
Shazat
get
got
dribbled
revenge.
Yeah, we saw
Yeah,
that.
here
by
we go, here we go.
Chaussette missing the ball. It's all on the first touch. Usually Chaussette's
It was
first touch
heavy, wasn't
glues the ball to his card. That one was
Yeah.
heavy.
Yeah.
But here we
And there's the
have
man of the hour.
here we have the ex-League of Legends / Counter-Strike professional player Fruity. AKA good at everything. Fruity, how's it going? Congratulations first off through the winners final.
Yeah.
7-game win 4-3.
Wanted to make it interesting, you know.
We have to ask, because we did see 2 huge double bump goals by you. Was there any discussion about bumps being added to your
I mean, it was
repertoire?
when Chicago did that chicken butt. I don't know if you saw the chat. He was like,
No,
you know
I
what,
didn't see the chat.
chicken butt, whatever, bad memes, right? And I'm like, is this guy serious?
You
So
said
I
it
was
was
just
JNabs?
So that's
I was
what
just out for
Is that a
blood, right?
Canadian
that was the
thing,
trigger point.
Yeah,
put him on the
they did
odds.
it first game when they won, and I'm like, no, I ain't having it.
And talk me through Chaussette's winning goal there, the missed dribble.
I mean,
the what did he say when he hit that? Because
Oh, a nice fig in like a French accent, you know. Oh, nice
so
fig.
intentional.
Yeah. Totally planned, right?
Interesting.
No, that's good.
Yeah, so what I mean, was it seriously just the chicken butt that did that, or like in all talks?
Obviously,
Like,
there's some strategy to it, right?
Yeah.
Yumi was saying we just need to. Oh, we were all saying, Yumi especially, were like we need to push Fruity more up and get some demos, and that's what I did. I was very
it was
Yumi actually knew what he was
spot
talking
on.
about.
Yeah,
I've been
like,
calling for it every
on.
time.
Yeah, so I was very focused on the midfield game because that's where I think G2 are really good. They're probably the best team in the midfield rotation.
Also, Fruity just started popping off. And
Yeah.
beating
Oh, man.
everyone
Yeah.
to the ball.
We heard it was your fault. You told him to
Get
do
Fruity
that.
upfield, Yummy.
I gave Yumi a little bit of credit. He's not half bad as we tell him.
We give
but-
him credit because he didn't
coachable
actually do it.
Yeah, he's coachable. He's coachable.
So,
yeah.
so Fruity, I talked a little bit about you being a gamer in other games as well.
Yeah.
Do you regret not going professional in other game?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh,
I've seen the followers on Twitter, you know. I've seen the salaries,
Why
you know.
am I
No, I have so many chances now, but like, I don't know. I think a lot of pros as well, just in Rocket League as well, is good at other games. I think that pro players have it easier in some regard. That
It's competitive mentality.
Yeah,
that translates.
we're quick at learning, right?
Yeah.
We're quick at adapting. We're always like, the more hours we put in, the better we get, etc. So yeah.
well, I think Rocket League might not be the biggest, but I think we've got the best community. Love
Oh,
Heart-
yeah.
Hearts
Oh,
and
yeah.
chat
Yeah.
at home.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Less than 3. Less than 3.
less than
As
three.
Brian would say.
But yeah, it's awesome to see you showing up again, Fruity. We were talking just a minute ago about the chance of there being a double LAN winner back-to-back,
Oh,
which
yeah?
has been a long time since it happened. Maybe Dignitas were the last team to do that with Gnarly 2, followed by the Worlds.
Mm.
Yeah.
Season 5, if I'm not mistaken. Do you think that's on the cards for you guys?
Can you do it?
You're looking
We
pretty
have
good
2
today.
chances, right?
Mm-hmm.
We have
Yeah.
2 chances, so I don't know. Just
Well,
gonna-
you're in winners finals now. You'll play the winner of NRG versus Cloud9, and then you'll be in the grand finals against whoever comes through loser
yeah.
bracket.
I mean, it
if
doesn't
you
matter
make
who
it
we
there.
play. You just gotta win them all. But I really want to go back-to-back finals.
Yeah.
Would you rather
know?
play NRG, Turbo Pulsar, or Cloud9?
I want to play Turbo because
Oh, You did
I want
beat
to see how many
Cloud9
times
in
you own
DreamHack.
goals. That's the only thing
he's
I
been
watch
pretty
Turbo
this
for
weekend.
nowadays.
That's
Is
it.
just own goals.
And do you think Turbo's going to be able to take that down against Cloud9? Because the NRG before Turbo they had a pretty good record against Cloud9.
I mean, it depends how much Justin and Garrett is gonna pop off and carry Turbo, pretty much.
wow.
Nah, honestly, like I want to see Energy do well here, and I'm happy for Turbo, especially because I think he got a lot of motivation back, switching from EU to NA. So yeah.
Do you see either of Dignitas or Rogue making it through their first round in losers? They're going to be playing against either G2 and the loser of Cloud9 and NRG.
Those teams have so much potential. Like you have AJ on Rogue, and then you have Astral and Dignitas, and they can really pop off and take a series in their own hand. So it's like, which one is going to show up the biggest for them? I think.
What do you think? Do you think even G2? I mean, now that you've played them on the field, do you think G2 is just going to fix? Just be motivated more now to just make that run through the lures.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think this one hurts because it's the best of 7, right? On 3-1, and then they lose it. That's pretty rough, right?
What did you think in Game 5? I know it's probably a while ago now because you were just so fresh off that win, but the start was
Chicago.
2 really, really heavy overcommits. Chicago saved somebody else in G2's shot, and then you guys scored in the counter-attack. Then they all kind of threw themselves forward, and I think Farah bumped JNaps, and it was another open net. Like, was that a bit of a free win for you guys at a perfect time?
Pretty much. They like to give free wins, G2 sometimes.
Yeah.
They go full aggression, and sometimes you get that free win in a series. But they're really scary to play against because they play exactly the same in scrims, so you really got to bring your A game. No, they're fun to play. I think it's one of the most fun teams I have to play against because my playstyle is really fun against their playstyle.
It's like a race. It's
Yeah,
just a
right.
straight
It's
up a
race,
race to the
demos,
ball.
boost, aerials,
Yeah.
like constant fast pace, and I really love that.
And there's been a lot of talk that this could be the first all NA final. What do you have to say about that?
Nah.
No happening. No
And
happening.
gotta pick it up for my boys in Vitality. You know, they
the
could,
boys.
we have speed over there being useless, even off and on the pitch.
Wow.
You know, so someone has to do it,
He was
right?
pretty good off the pitch. He got a vigilante shot in Mafia.
Yeah.
Yeah, but is that?
Yeah, that was clutch.
That's
Very clutch.
Yeah,
Win the
he
game.
wants something that's, yeah,
Are we going to be seeing you in Mafia later on at the end of the show today?
maybe.
You'd better be.
I think everybody
Yeah,
wants
so
to see
fun.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. I'll do that.
Confirmed.
But yeah, we'll be coming back with more playoffs very soon. We just
Yeah.
saw, and congratulations to Frontline for making winners finals over G2. Right after this break, it will be NRG against Cloud9.